Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there was a tiny village by the name of Kamiki. Legend tells of a horrible beast that threatened the residents. It also tells of the wolf that risked it all to protect them. Controlling the very fabric of existence, this wolf stood up against a beast many times its size and banished the darkness. This ethereal wolf's valiant act ushered in an era of tranquility. The villagers' hearts swelled with respect and adoration of the wolf. Long, long ago, a tiny hamlet known as Kamiki lay nestled in a grove of proud and beautiful cherry blossoms. Each and every tree around the quiet burg was honored as a god. However, the village was not without its dark secrets. To satiate the appetite of Orochi, a fearsome cave-dwelling beast, a young maiden was offered as a sacrifice at the annual festival. With a body like a mountain and 8 heads mounted on necks the size of tree trunks, its blood-red eyes alone were said to curse anyone who gazed into them. No one dared disobey the horrific beast. When the night of the sacrifice drew near, a mysterious white wolf appeared outside the village. This wolf, its coat as brilliant as snow, was dubbed Shiranui. The wolf kept a watchful eye on anyone who ventured outside the village, and made a habit of patrolling the streets at night. People assumed the wolf to be a familiar of Orochi. One villager took it upon himself to face the fearsome Shiranui. The warrior Nagi attempted many times to challenge the wolf, but his attempts were thwarted by Shiranui's swift movements. Before long, the night of the accursed festival had arrived. A white-plumed arrow heralded the coming sacrifice. Piercing the sky, the arrow sunk its shaft squarely into the home of Nami, the village's most beautiful maiden. Nagi, harboring a secret love for Nami, was enraged by this sign. Determined to put an end to Orochi once and for all, Nagi traveled to the beast's cave in place of his beloved. The Moon Cave, a place as dark as evil itself, served as Orochi's home, As Nagi stood bravely before the entrance, a beast appeared, eyes glowing crimson upon 8 thrashing necks. Orochi stood tall before him, anxious for another sacrifice. Nagi leapt with incredible grace, swinging his blade valiantly. On and on he sliced, well into the moonless night. But Orochi's hide was like steel. The blade left nary a scratch. At long last, Nagi, his energy spent from the intense battle, dropped to his knees, fatigued and gasping for breath. He knew he was staring death in the face. It was then that the wolf appeared. As if to protect Nagi, it stood its ground before Orochi. In the darkness of the cave, the wolf's coat shone brilliantly. Alas, it was Shiranui, the wolf that dwelled outside the village. Bearing its fearsome claws, Shiranui leapt toward Orochi. Orochi reared its terrifying heads, readying its fangs for battle. The two beasts struggled wildly, thrashing in the darkness. Mysterious and terrifying, the spectacle continued. Shiranui summoned gusts of divine wind to counter Orochi's flames. As Orochi closed in on Shiranui, sharpened claws glistening, a gigantic tree suddenly sprouted forth, shielding the wolf. Shiranui fought gallantly to gain the upper hand. However, Orochi, protected by a mystical power, was not easily bested. Shiranui, covered in gashes, majestic coat dyed crimson, stood exhausted before the mighty Orochi. Orochi saw a chance to strike what would be the final blow. But Shiranui refused to give in. With its last ounce of strength, the majestic wolf gazed heavenward and unleashed a mighty howl. Suddenly, the black clouds overhead dissipated. The light from above glinted off Nagi's sword as a beacon of hope. Guided by his sword, Nagi, who had been taking shelter in the shadows, stood proudly to face his adversary. Channeling all his strength into his scarred and battered arms, he leapt ferociously towards Orochi, his sword poised high. The golden sword danced in his hands like a puppet on a string. One by one, Orochi's fearsome heads separated from their owner. Orochi's broken body collapsed in a lake of its own blood. In that instant, the curse that had plagued the villagers was lifted. As the battle subsided, the sun shone once again in the sky. Shiranui had succumbed to Orochi's poison and struggled to breathe. Nagi scooped the beast into his arms and returned to Kamiki. When they reached the village, Shiranui was no longer moving. The village elder gently stroked the wolf's head. In response, Shiranui let out a hoarse and pitiful bark, then closed its eyes and drifted off as if into slumber. Peace had at last returned to Kamiki village. In honor of Shiranui's heroic exploits, the villagers erected a shrine and placed a statue of the wolf within it. Nagi's sword was christened Tsukuyomi and placed inside the moon cave. The villagers all looked forward to an age of endless peace. However, this is not the end of the story. There is more to this tale than most people know. 100 years had passed since Nagi and Shiranui's heroic exploits. It happened so quickly that no one in the village even took notice. Is this the legendary sword? Is this Tsukuyomi, the sword that banished the dreaded Orochi? No, it couldn't be. It's just a legend. Nothing but a fairy tale. Oh, he who seeks power, he who has broken my bonds. Speak the words, I wish darkness unto the world. Utter that prayer unto me, and unleash my power. A horrible tragedy suddenly swept over the land. However, there was one village that seemed to escape the terrible curse. The tiny settlement of Kamiki Village enjoyed the protection of a sacred tree. It is here that the real story begins. Wood Sprite Sakuya. How troublesome. This is just like the ancient prophecy of doom. What has transpired to bring about such calamity? We must act quickly. There is no time to lose. My power has diminished over the years I've spent protecting this area. I don't have much time left in this world. Amaterasu, now is the time. We have never needed your power more. Shine your divine light upon this broken and polluted world. Let your heavenly rays become our hope as you guide us all. Ōkami Amaterasu. Ah, such divine white light, such beauty and grace. The only one capable of such a wondrous spectacle is none other than our mother and the origin of all that is, Amaterasu. How delightful to see that the Savior whose brave sacrifice sealed away the evil demon so many years ago has not changed one bit. Seeing you emerge after so many years spent as a statue brings happiness to my heart. Amaterasu, gaze above you and take in the condition of the sky. Since your untimely departure from our midst, the world has succumbed to devious and vicious beasts. They have ravaged our fine and bountiful country of Nippon. But never have the circumstances been worse than they are at this very moment. Please use your powers to banish the darkness and punish those who would do us harm. What is this? Has something stolen its way into my robe? Phew, what on earth? You again. Ow, 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 are you nuts? Boy, for a little thing, you sure make a big fuss. I was just trying to make the conversation a bit more interesting, that's all. Were you napping in my clothes again, Bug? Bug, I told you 1,000 times not to call me that. I'm a wandering artist. The name's Issun. Wandering artist Issun. I'll show you just how great I am, and it won't be long till you're bowing before my great brush. Well, what do you think? Even cuter than the real thing, no? What's with you, furball? You look kinda down in the dumps. Actually, you look kinda familiar. Got it, you look just like that statue of Shiranui. Whoa, what do you think you're doing? Are you crazy? A handsome guy like me should never be covered in wolf slobber. You'll regret messin' with the great Issun. Don't make me use my prized sword Denkomaru against you. What's that growling sound? And why is it so dark anyway? Oh, great god Amaterasu. I've used all the power I have to protect Kamiki Village. The village lives on. Their spirits lie encased in my fruit. Cut it free, and the village will be reborn. I trust in you. I know that you will lead us down the right path. Only your awesome power can restore life to the world. The trees return to normal, huh? That Sakuya girl sure said some weird stuff. The villagers' spirits are being kept inside the fruit. That's the fruit. That girl said that if you cut it down, the village will be restored. But it's awfully high up there. If you don't use some kind of special power, there's no way you're gonna reach it. This darkness is really getting to me, too. A lot can happen while you're taking a nap. Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome to my new Let's Play of Ōkami. This game is pretty special to me for a few reasons. I'll get into some of them later, But I do have to admit, right up front, yes, my first exposure to this game was through Chugga Conroy's LP, and I just loved it so darned much that I decided I wanted to share it with even more people, because I'm sure there's some people on my channel that have not seen this game, even after all these years. And I know it's something very different, but I really hope all of you will give it a shot. As you can probably tell, this game is going to be quite similar to The Legend of Zelda, but of course we'll be getting into that later on as well. And of course, we just sat through like a 20-minute prologue, but I'd really like to get some gameplay going in this episode. So this first episode's actually going to be quite long, so I hope you don't mind. But anyway, let's head into the light. Where are we? It got awfully quiet all of a sudden. I don't remember any place like this in the village. Well, we better keep our eyes peeled. You can use the plus control pad to look around. The 2 button changes your point of view. Boy, you really look so helpless. You sure you're gonna be okay? Now I guess one other thing I can mention. This game was released on the PS3. As you can probably tell by the picture quality, I am not playing it on the PS3 because I do not own a PS3. If anyone wants to overnight me a PS3, then be my guest, but I doubt that's going to happen, so we are playing the Wii version because that's the version of the game I own. Nothing more than that. And I'm sure it's quite obvious by now, but this game is absolutely gorgeous. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna name drop the art direction of this game at some point, but that's alright. Anyway, as you can probably imagine, Issun is like our Navi/Midna type character, and since Amaterasu cannot speak, Issun's going to be doing all the talking for us, although as you can probably imagine from that opening cutscene, a lot of it's going to be sweet talk, so we're going to get into that a little bit later. Hold on. That's an origin mirror. They say once your reflection appears on its surface, your memories will be stored in the mirror for all eternity. Well, to put it shortly, you can save your progress here. And let me give you a little advice. You should save a number of game files. That way, you could always go back if you get stuck or something. What Issun is saying here, this game has a whopping 20 save slots to it. So be sure to save over quite a few of them just in case you manage to screw something up later on in the game. Ōkami is not a hard game, and I don't think you'll ever need to make use of this feature, but if the unthinkable happens, and one of your saves corrupts or something, it's definitely going to be nice to have a couple of backups. Gotta be prepared, especially while you're still learning the ropes. Alrighty, in fact, I am going to save right now. Now, as you can probably imagine, I am never going to be showing that game screen for the saving throughout the entire LP because I have completed this game before and all of my endgame files are listed on it, and the save menu lists things like areas and stats and stuff like that, and I really don't want to spoil anything later in the game. Anyway, let's head across this bridge. Look at all those pots just waiting to be broken. Similar to Zelda in more ways than one. If you bust them, there might be something good inside. Swing the Wii remote to bust them with your head. What Issun says is true if we head right on over here and swing the remote. Way to go, my furry friend. You can do that anytime you see something you can break. And it's going to spit out 10 yen for us. You can get money from breaking pots, although it is nowhere near the most efficient way. But anyway, right up here we're going to get into a way that this game is quite different from Zelda. Whoa, whoa, hold on there, furball. Get a load of that. That chest looks mighty tempting. Let's go check it out. Getting up that high ought to be a piece of cake. Press the A button to jump. Then press the A button again to do a wall jump. But make sure you press it firmly so you jump really high. Yes, as you can imagine, if you just tap the button, you don't go that high, but if you tap it a lot harder, you're going to go a lot higher. Anyway, let's jump up here and do that wall jump. I knew you could do it. They say good luck is found in high places. So keep your eyes peeled. We don't want to miss any treasure. Speaking of treasure, right here, boom. We obtained a Holy Bone S. Amaterasu's favorite snack restores 3 units of solar energy. Yes, as you can imagine, this game has a bit of a health system like Zelda. Instead of hearts, they are solar energy, and luckily enough, they appear up in the upper left corner like you would expect. Looks like the bridge is out. This shouldn't be so hard. Amaterasu, was it? That's kinda long. Mind if I call you Ami? Listen, Ami. Ever heard of the spirits of the brush? Good brushwork has its own soul. At least, that's what they say. Just watch. It'd take all day to explain. A picture's worth 1,000 words, right? And as you can see, Issun is going to demonstrate his ability of rejuvenation. Nice, huh? Just a little technique I've mastered called rejuvenation. It's one of many brush techniques that use divine power. It's a brush god power that can restore broken or missing things. I've practiced really hard just to master this one technique. But there are 13! Each one is a power of one of the 13 brush gods. Originally, all 13 were a single powerful deity. When the deity died, its power was split into 13 separate gods. The gods now dwell within objects all around us, but God or no God, how could anyone have the power to master all 13? I do not know, Issun. I do not know. Anyway, that celestial brush technique that he showed off right there is going to be a very, very major component of the gameplay to this game, and we are going to be getting into more of it right about now. As you can see, this river is gone. If you look really closely, there is in fact no river here, it's just an abyss, but we really want to get over to that other side, don't you think? Anyway, if we head over here, River of the Heavens. The River of the Heavens? They mean the fabled Stardust River? But I sure don't see anything like that around here. It couldn't be that little puddle over there, could it? Indeed it could. Anyway, you can run up to these things and examine them again if you want to, as you might imagine. And of course, Issun is going to repeat everything he just said. But right up here is something even more important. Wow! Look at the stars twinkle. I haven't seen such a beautiful nighttime sky in ages. Hey, look, are those stars forming a pattern, or is it just me? There's one missing. Guess I'll just have to draw the missing star. And Issun is going to demonstrate his amazing powers of failure. Bah! Looks like I'm just not ready to draw missing stars. Press the B button to hold the brush, then the A button to draw. I sure spent a heck of a lot of time practicing that. Mumble, mumble. Ladies and gentlemen, our first use of the celestial brush. Ah, why if it isn't Mother Amaterasu. I apologize for not contacting you sooner during these long years. Having never forgotten you, I, Yomigami, God of Restoration, have eagerly awaited this day when we could again meet. While you were away, the 13 spirits of the brush that you once possessed, including myself, have been scattered across this land of men, and now lie in disarray. I became a constellation and managed to survive until now. The time has come for you to seek out and reunite all the techniques. Your power is what is needed to restore the dried riverbed of the heavens and renew the flow of stardust. Wow, that was Yomigami, the god of rejuvenation. Wait, so you have the power of rejuvenation now? Can you really use it to restore the river of the heavens? That would mean you were as good with a brush as yours truly. Nah, it couldn't be true. Who else could master this incredible god technique? Really full of yourself, Issun, huh? As you can see, the constellation is now visible in the sky, which I think is a really, really cool detail. Not all of the brush gods in the game will do this, but this is one god that does, and I think it's a really, really awesome little detail. But as Issun said, we should probably be unnecessarily epic and jump over that arch and repair the river of the heavens. Wonder if drawing some stardust would get the river flowing again. Nah, it's one thing to fix a bridge, but fixing a starry river? There's no way you could pull off a stunt like that. Oh really, Issun? I think we could probably pull it off if we so tried. Just orient our camera nicely and fill in the river. Whoa! A river of stardust! So this really must be the river of the heavens. But what I really want to know is who the heck drew the darn thing? Oh, Issun, you don't have faith in us, do you? Now, it's worth noting, in this river, you can swim in it forever. Not every body of water in the game is going to be like this. There are going to be some bodies of water, in fact, I think every body of water other than this one, where you can only swim for a limited amount of time, so keep that in mind. Anyway, we can continue filling in the river until eventually we can make it all the way to the other side. Very nice. And as you can see, up there in the upper left corner, we have 3 units of ink, and it will slowly restore after each use. Be very careful how you use your ink, because if you run out, bad things are going to happen. Anyway, right up here, we have the Astral Pouch. Look what you found, Furball. This Astral Pouch here is amazing. It can swallow up lots of food. Then, when it's full, it can revive its owner if he or she dies. Let's start feeding it with whatever food we can find around here. For example, in one of these pots, perhaps? No. Well, there's some money. Food around here, my butt. Alright. Aha, there's one. We consumed an apple. As you can see, that little icon in the lower left corner has gone up 1. It can fill all the way up to 200, and when it is full, it will basically act as an extra life if you die, which is super duper awesome. But anyway, I'm pretty sure this video's been going on for like 35 minutes now, so I think this is probably a good place to end things off. So, this past episode, we awoke from a 100-year slumber, and we got a lot of backstory out of the way. And we met Yomigami, the god of rejuvenation, and obtained its power to proceed onwards. And next time on Ōkami, we are going to be heading ever further into this mysterious area. I really hope you guys come with me on this journey, and I'm really excited to see how it'll turn out. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.
Ōkami